Hi, I'm Jeff Gonzalez, president of Trident Concepts, and today I'm here with Brownells Daily Defense at the SIG Academy in beautiful New Hampshire to talk to you about training class after action reviews. So, what is an after action review? Well, if you're going to take the time and the resources to attend some sort of formalized instruction, then it's probably important that you take a moment to reflect on what did I learn? What was important? And so there's a system, a process, if you will, that I try to encourage our students to adopt in order to get the most bang for their buck. Now, with that being said, if you can think about these ideas before you get to the class, it kind of gives you an idea of what to be looking for. So the first thing that I like to talk about is, what did you do well that you want to sustain? So whatever your strengths are, you probably want to keep doing them well. But here's the thing, we don't often work on our weak areas because we're more likely to work on what we do well. So it's important that we acknowledge what we did well because we want to sustain that. But then we need to also take a critical eye to what do we want to improve. Where are the weak areas in my skill development, my skill sets that I want to put a little bit more attention to? As you go through these training classes, you're learning new material. And so now the third point is, what do I want to add to my inventory, repertoire, whatever you'd like to say, to make it an important part of my training development? So you might have gone to a pistol class and you, again, it's hard to expect to know everything. I mean, that's why you're looking to advance your knowledge base, is because we don't know everything. And we're trying to add to our inventory. So when you get to that nugget that was like super valuable, that's the sort of thing that we're talking about. Now, at a certain point, we also need to acknowledge that maybe what I have been doing is no longer in my best interest. In other words, maybe I need to change. And sometimes change can be kind of hard for people because, well, let's face it, change is scary. Change is complicated. Change is something that maybe we try to avoid. But you got to be honest with yourself and really think, is this something that I should change? And your experience in the class will probably help give you some of the whys that might be helpful in making the decision to change. Now, these are kind of like the four major bullet points that I think about whenever I'm attending some sort of training or education is, what did I do well that I want to sustain? What did I do poorly that I need to improve? What do I want to add to my inventory? And what within my inventory do I want to change? So let's kind of focus in on the class itself. Not necessarily our performance, but the class itself. What was the major takeaway from that class? Like, what was the massive light bulb that went off that you're like, oh my God, this is my takeaway. This is the big chunk that I'm grateful for attending this class for. And everybody's has got a little different kind of perspective on what their major takeaway is. But take a step back and think, wow, this really made a difference for me and for my skill development. Then what did the class focus on? What was the major focus of the class? And you'll see this in a variety of different classes. And for instance, you might go to an organization where you take a couple of different classes taught by a couple of different instructors. So each instructor can still provide the same curriculum, but they do it through a slightly different filter. And so what was the focus of this curriculum from this instructor versus this instructor? So that major focus of the class is valuable because you might have gone there thinking, well, I'm really going to work, or I'm going to learn how to shoot at distance, or I'm going to learn how to shoot fast at close range, or I'm going to learn this, that, or the other. Because this is kind of why I'm choosing this class. I'm choosing this class because that's the emphasis. But then you learn that it was something different, and that's valuable information as well. Now, as you go through all of this, the last piece of the puzzle is gear review. What did I learn about my gear? Many times we learn that, all right, well, I'm going to need to put more thought into how I choose a holster. I'm going to have to put more thought into the type of sights that I should be using. I'm going to need to put more thought into having enough magazines for this, that, or the other. So you need to take a step back and look at your equipment and again, be honest. What worked well? What do I need to change? What do I need to add? And what should I improve? So the same kind of philosophy that we apply towards our skill development, we also apply towards our gear review. And what I try to tell people is, again, don't be so hard on yourself if you didn't nail it out of the park with your first purchase, whatever it could be. Because again, you don't know what you don't know. As you go through these training classes, you're going to take on more information that's going to help you to make better decisions. And you may realize that, I like it, but I think I'm going to like this a little bit more. So after any type of formalized instruction, whether it be private, whether it be a class, whether it be something outside of the shooting world, take this approach towards evaluating what did you learn? What was your experience like? Because what you're going to find is you're going to get a lot more out of your experience when you can look at it through these lenses, if you will. All right. I'd love to hear your questions or comments. Please feel free to post them down below. Until then, I'm Jeff Gonzalez. Take care and stay safe.